Way I overcome.
Why I can.
I think you're on the edge of something transformative. We need rule breakers. We need our very best positive deviants and creative disruptors.
All polling shows that climate crisis is the #1 concern amongst young people. The change is coming whether we like it or not.
This is a problem for you and us to ensure the safety of our generation and generations hundreds of years from now.
We need to protect our communities and protect the most vulnerable in our society against the effects of climate change.
This has to be our priority. There is no time left. Anywhere you have influence, use it. Come to rallies and show your support. Please, the time is now, or the time is before now.
A green economy, a Green New Deal, is the best thing that we can offer to our supporters and to the millions of people that support Labour.
We are a region that makes things. We are still a centre of manufacturing and engineering excellence. With the right strategies in place, the North East can be the vanguard for a UK that competes globally in manufacturing and labour-intensive industries, whilst also leading the way in tackling climate change.
Reimagining the future is a monumental task, and it will take all of us working together to do it. Yes, climate change presents a massive threat to all of our lives, but we have the technological solutions needed to tackle it.
Sustainability cannot be a bolt-on policy. We cannot continue with the politics of the past and say, oh yes, and we'll make it a bit greener. This is something you have to design in. The IPCC has given us that stark warning. We have to act now or it will be too late. But it's also economic sustainability. I'm a councillor in Newcastle. We're actually in the ward I represent now. The West End Food Bank. Their figures for January this year, 1 month alone, 1,826 children needed food parcels. And yet we have half of the world's wealth owned by a handful of individuals. The campaign that we've put together has been taking the advice and the wisdom of people who've been working on this. So what will we be doing? Well, number one, we will declare a climate emergency on the first day I take office. And it will involve setting a climate change liaison group involving everybody. Academia, public sector, businesses, and citizens and civil society who are left out of this far, far too often. We need an environmental education. A lot of this is about behavioural change. We will be hiring a specialist team of people to support educators about getting kids involved in understanding not just the science and urgency of environmental breakdown, but the solutions for it. We'll be getting them involved, learning those science, technology and engineering skills and disciplines by getting them hands-on projects. Why can't we get kids building wind turbines that generate electricity? That's how we get this message out there, so that future generations don't need kids to tell them how they should be behaving. Food waste and food poverty go hand in hand. Our supermarkets overorder. There are vast crates of food often just thrown away. Through the Fair Share scheme, we can work to support community cafes on a pay-as-you-feel basis so that there is dignity for people who are in food poverty. Now, energy is abundant. It's all around us. Anybody who lives in the North East knows the wind blows a lot of the time and the sun shines. So why is it that we're spending so much money on difficult and dangerous work to go below the ocean floor to extract fossil fuels? The technology is already there. It's a basic law of physics. We have solar manufacturers in our region. We have trained installers. This produces jobs, and I'll be lobbying for a change in the law to get those tariffs back. We can be the world leader in green energy production. Housing affects everybody. Houses have become an asset instead of a home. With cooperative housing, we can actually build social housing for fair rent again. At the root of all of this is money. So we'll be driving, setting up a people's cooperative bank, because interest is a way We're transferring money from poor people to rich people, and we need to get it circulated back. I mentioned Martin Luther King earlier. He's obviously most famous as an anti-racist campaigner, as a civil rights campaigner. What a lot of people don't realise is how much of a socialist he was. He says, "I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality and freedom for their spirits." Capitalism does not permit an even flow of economic resources. With this system, a small privileged few are rich beyond conscience, and almost all others are doomed to be poor at some level. That's the way the system works. And since we know that the system will not change the rules, we are going to have to change the system.